All right, folks, we're back working on the truck. What you doing, Donnie?
Yo, if y'all like the channel, give us a thumbs up.
What the hell? They won't give a thumbs up or a subscribe. Look at this.
57% of y'all are non-subscribed.
Look at that. He's already figured out how to do the analytics on his phone, people. So he knows what the hell y'all are up to, okay?
So please subscribe to the channel. It'd make it a hell of a lot easier for me.
Damn. What are we doing today, Donnie?
Hey, we're gonna do brakes, but guess what?
What?
You ain't gonna believe it. Look at this shit. We got the right tool. First time in history.
Donnie has the right tool. Now, how did that happen?
You brought it.
So what is this thing that we're looking at here?
This is a brake bleeder.
I've owned it for years, but I don't know what it's for.
Well, you stick that on the little titty down there to bleed the brakes, and then you pump it. And just don't let it go back into the damn machine. You do that, it fucks your machine up. I've done that many times. I had a bunch of these, but I had to throw them away.
So we're basically, why are we doing that with the brakes?
Well, we got a soft pedal.
The pedal is soft and nobody's been able to fix it yet. And they keep telling us. Now, how many times, Donnie, were you told, oh, I got to bleed them brakes a little bit more?
A bunch.
Yep.
And adjust them.
Yeah.
They done adjusted them about 50 times. If it don't work, the first time you adjust them, try something else, people.
So we've had two people work on it. The first guy replaced a whole bunch of the brake stuff. So supposedly all the pads, wheel cylinders, all that crap. Back hose, front hose. I did one of the front hoses. And never did get it. Yeah, Donnie did a video of that. Never did get it 100%. The brakes, they work, but they barely work. It's like you just barely grabbing it at the last second. It ain't safe. So apparently there is a problem with the back brakes or something. So whatever. But it must be the front brakes too, or they'd stop better. But the first guy even replaced the proportioning valve. So so this is how this stuff's going, guys. I drive it over there. The brakes are fine. Guy replaces the hose. Man, I'm having trouble getting them back brakes to bleed. I think the proportioning valve's messed up, man. That's all I remember. I mean, that's the only thing else I can think. Now, how often does the damn proportioning valve go bad?
I ain't never changed one.
Yeah, it was driving fine when I drove it over there. The brakes were fine. So, you know, just another thing. Okay, man, well, I guess if you got to buy a proportioning valve, go ahead. So it has a brand new proportioning valve on it, but who knows if it's hooked up right. So maybe we can compare that to the other truck.
Yeah, we're scared that he got the lines backwards. Like if you take the front line and put it where the back line goes and the back line where the front line goes, you're going to have 80% of your pedal on the front brakes, which ain't how it's supposed to be. So
who knows? Something ain't right. So we're going to see if they'll bleed and if it looks like everything's been replaced and what the deal is. So we'll. So what's first, Donnie? What do we need to do first?
I think this back passenger side tire.
All right. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna break the bleeder open a little bit, put the suction thing on it, and try to suck brake fluid.
And it looks like it's working. Look at that.
Yep.
5 pounds.
I've used it on another vehicle. As a matter of fact, I might have used it on this front tire whenever I did the brake line on the front.
That thing looks like it'd suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Look at that. Yep. All right. Well, cool. We'll try it. We'll let you know what we do here. All right, Donnie. What's it doing?
Filling up the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Under the circumstances, I can't tell if there's air in it or not. You know, it's holding pressure up here, so I would think there ain't no air in it.
Well, that's bad. Because they're not working good.
Well, you know, it could be up here that's got air in the line. I can't tell.
I guess we'll just run a bunch through and I'll make sure the reservoir don't go empty. Let me go look at it. Has brand new booster, brand new master cylinder on it. And so I just got to make sure that we don't run out of fluid.
2 big bubbles come through.
Donnie said he found 2 big bubbles. That's good. First cup full. Well, looks pretty good. I think a lot of that dirt was from this actual bucket here. Okay, so we're figuring out which reservoir the back brakes are on, and it appears, so there's this little slot in the middle that connects the two, but once it gets down a little bit, only the one that's being bled lowers. So yeah, it's the front reservoir, Donnie. So the back brakes are currently hooked up to the front reservoir, which we believe is correct, but we're going to check all that. All right, I checked the lines compared to my 83, and they're exactly the same, so we're good. The proportioning valve looks just like the one in my other truck, so it must have been, at least it looks like the proper replacement, unless there's something changed in it or something, but it looks like it's the right one. The lines are hooked up right. The larger line goes on the front reservoir. The smaller line goes on the rear reservoir, but that's actually swapped. So the large line is the back brakes. The small line is the front brakes. So Donnie is now wanting to bleed the front one. He thinks we got a problem there. What do you think, Donnie?
When you push the brakes inside the thing, that back reservoir shoots a big stream up, and the front reservoir just barely moves. So we're going to do these front ones and see exactly what's going on here.
All right, so it's front reservoir time. All right, Donnie's under the front one. He said that the bleeder screw is all rounded off on this one. So brand new caliper. Bleeder screw is all boogered up because they didn't use a wrench or a socket on it. Why would they do that, Donnie?
Must be like me and just have a pair of pliers.
All right. All right, we bled the brakes. The thing still doesn't have a good pedal at all. They work, but it's just way down near the floor and they're spongy. And so what are we doing now, Donnie?
We'll take it off and see if they're adjusted.
We're going to see what the back brakes look like at least. If we can try not to knock it off this jack.
They said they adjusted them like 20 times. And they say they're new.
So we got it out of gear. Supposedly all this stuff's new. That ain't new, but that's fine. Hell, are those pads even there? I guess, because look at the retaining screws.
Look at, he had the axle out, so they had to put it right on them.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw pictures of the back disassembled. I mean, I guess they're new.
It's awful funny that adjuster is almost all the way out, and it ain't touching. These drums must be wore slap out.
You think so?
I mean, why
Can you tell by the wear on the pads if maybe they're not grabbing very good? Sorry, guys. I know it ain't light enough, but that's just how it is. Sorry.
The pads are new.
They don't seem worn weird where they're not hitting right.
Well, yeah, they're ate up a little bit, but
because if the drum was too big, I think only the middle.
There?
Mm-hmm.
And tapered there.
Well, what do you think? You don't like the looks of that drum?
See way the hell back here. It looks like it. Is it really wore that much? Is that even possible?
I don't know, man. All right, we're going to think about it. Okay, so Donnie thinks he has found the smoking guns. So here's the inside of the drum. There are two size drums, by the way. There's an 11 and then there's 11.15. And the 11 is 2-inch brake shoes. And the 11.15 is 2.75 brake shoes. So these are the smaller ones. So if you look around the edge,
from here to there is factory.
see the wear.
But from there to there.
Could the guy went and had them turned, and that's why it's like that?
Could have, but I don't know that they would turn them. Most people don't turn them anymore.
They're turned, if they are turned, way down, which that's a lot of meat. I mean, that's like half the meat, about almost half of the meat is gone. So I'm thinking the damn drum ain't right. Okay, and then show him your adjuster. Now, Donnie really doesn't like this. He keeps going on and on about this adjuster.
If all this shit's new, there ain't no way that adjuster should be out that far.
He does not like that the adjuster is out that far, and we are questioning if all of this is new. Now, show him what's going on with the pads, Donnie.
This pad here.
Look at all that trash up at the top half of the pad.
It's ate up.
It's like it's dragging, or it ain't touching the drum right, or something.
It looks like from this that it's skipping. It's jumping across
yeah, there's
that
something going on. But it doesn't shake as you brake.
So this pad is wore out right there. You can touch the rivet. And over here on this side, you got a 1/4 inch or better to the rivet.
Okay, and then show them what else, Donnie.
This side of the, what's that called?
Wheel cylinder.
A wheel cylinder. This side of the wheel cylinder is dry. This side's wet.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got a leak.
We got a leak on that wheel cylinder.
So Donnie's not happy with these brakes.
And they do look pretty new. I mean, they still got paint on them, but there's rust down here too. So I don't know. But these are new, obviously. And he did have the axle out because he put an R on it. But whoever could have helped that a little bit. And the pads is already glossed, if you know what that means. That's the pads are slick now. They're supposed to have a texture to them, and they're already slicked off. So.
The whole thing is, as I understand it. Okay, now let's think about it for a minute. If the brake drum is too big, when that wheel cylinder squeezes those pads out, it's going to push the tops out.
Yep.
They're going to hit first. The whole rest of the pad, the shoe ain't really even going to hit. But down here at the bottom, they've adjusted it out with that adjuster trying to fix it.
Oh, they ate it off, you thinking?
I'm thinking, yeah. Because look how the top of that pad is thinner than the rest of the pad.
That ain't better lighting.
Yeah, it's definitely been ate away. And look, it's all screwed up, man. I mean, it ain't right. That ain't...
From about there to there, it looks decent. About an inch in there.
I think all it's hitting is the top pad, and you can adjust it out with the adjuster, but like Donnie's saying, it's out pretty damn far, really.
To be new.
To be new.
I could understand that if it was 2 years old, 3 years old.
And, you know, I'm no expert, man, but in my opinion, that front pad's ate all to hell, man, compared to that back pad. It's half the size. I wonder if those are the wrong shoe. I wonder if they're the 11 1/4.
No, because they're 2 inch.
Oh, yeah, they're 2 inch instead of 2.75. Okay. Well, I think we're probably going to go get some brake parts. So, maybe wheel cylinder, hardware kit, pads, and rotors. What do you think?
I think the hardware kit's new. It looks like it.
You think that's cool? The springs and all look good?
Well, that spring didn't get replaced, but, you know, the rest of them did. And it looks like somebody's been eating on that damn adjuster. Just adjusting the hell out of it. Trying to get brakes on it.
Do we need a new adjuster?
No, probably not. Come on, adjuster. No, that's still good.
All right. Well, we're going to go get some stuff, I guess. What do you think?
That's what we're going to do.
All right, we went to the store and got a whole bunch of brake parts. Donnie is swapping one of the shoes as we speak. What do you think, Donnie?
I think it's going to work out.
He said he thinks it's going to work out.
And if not, we'll figure something else out.
If not, we'll figure something else out. Donnie's running right through it. So, there's two types of brakes for the back. 11 by 2 and 11.1 by 2.75. And there's two types of wheel cylinders. So the new one is obviously the pretty one. And the old one's that. What do you think, Donnie?
I think whoever the hell's been working on these trucks don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's what he thinks.
It's pretty simple. All you got to do is put back what the hell you take off.
Tell him, Donnie. Tell him how to do it.
It ain't that damn hard.
You just take it off and put it back, Donnie said.
Back. See, when that shit falls on the ground, you got to pick it up and put it back in there.
Now, when we took the wheel cylinder loose, it started dripping out brake fluid. But actually, that's a good thing. That's how you bleed it. It's gravity bleeding it. So that proves that it's getting plenty of fluid back here. Or it wouldn't be, he's going to use a screwdriver instead of the wrench, the pliers.
This got to go in there first.
All right, we're in some hairy stuff, people. We'll be back. All right, new drum versus old drum. Sorry, we don't have any measurements.
Ronnie, you remember where this spring goes?
No.
Damn
it. He's trying to get it. He's in there like swimwear.
Come on, baby, don't jump off of there now.
Come on, baby. Bam, bam, Bigelow.
There's that. Now we got it.
We're getting there now.
Now we got to get a spring on the bottom and our adjuster, and we'll be done with this side.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, people? Done with this side. You heard the man. Okay, so he has to run it all the way in, basically, to get those pads in, but we won't know how far he has to adjust it out until we get the drum on. What do you think, Donnie?
I don't know.
Well, we've replaced everything brake-wise on this side, so we'll get the new drum on and adjust that adjuster.
Get on the other side and see what's going on.
We'll see what's going on the other side. It might be messed up too, but we'll see. Donnie's got a Milwaukee impact wrench.
You know that thing's twice as strong as about any air impact that you can get.
Now, we are not being paid by Milwaukee to say this. He's just thrilled.
That thing's like 1,400 foot-pounds.
Now, whenever we were younger, we could only dream of having an impact wrench like that wasn't pneumatic.
Yeah. I think everybody was dreaming.
Uh-huh.
I don't think nobody even made one.
Yeah, I don't even know if there was a cordless.
Well, there's probably a cordless, but there wasn't nothing that was damn 1,500 foot-pounds. Still today, there's only a few. And that one's in the league, you know, by itself, price-wise, versus the usability of it.
And we've been using them for a couple years now. Pretty good stuff.
The batteries ain't even burned up yet.
Yeah, we haven't lost any batteries yet, and we've been using all Milwaukee stuff for a couple years now. So. And Donnie uses stuff pretty much daily, and Joey uses stuff pretty much daily at the shop. So.
And then this stuff down here, we let it sit for
weeks, months, sometimes
a month before we go back and get them, and it don't bother the battery.
So we like it. All right. So I went in the truck and I pressed the brake and the wheel stopped moving. So it's at least trying to move in some way. So we're going to jump over to the other side and see what it looks like and swap the wheel cylinder over there and the brake pads and see what we're working with.
Oh.
All right, so we're doing the driver's side, and Donnie thinks that everything has already been replaced. The pads look much better.
Pads are new. The springs are different colors.
Which
somebody put a spring kit in it.
Yeah, so they're new.
The adjuster's new. It's not rusted. It's got regular paint. Everything on this side's good. Except for the rotor, the drum itself.
So the drum, does it have the same kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that lip in there where you can tell.
Yeah, it's four.
Well, we'll put a new drum on it. And you think the wheel cylinder and the pads are fine?
Yeah. Everybody says they're adjusting these brakes. You know nobody's took that drum off to adjust that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell by them lugs nobody took it off.
Yep.
So everybody lied about adjusting them.
Donnie ain't happy.
There ain't no hole in the backing plate like you normally adjust them. You got to adjust these through the drum.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's adjusting them, I assure you.
Well, we're going to adjust them.
Yep.
All right, let me get the other drum. Donnie, are you drilling a hole in my truck?
Yep. Right in the backing plate. You ready? Yeah. Okay, y'all, I'm going to try to get this on video. Watch right there. And we're doing it the old school way. Let's watch this fluid come out. See that air right there at the end when it spit out? That's air coming out. Ronnie, you good to pump? So I got Ronnie up there pumping the brakes, and I'm back here bleeding. For some reason, we can't get the air out, and every time right at the end, it wants to spit a big chunk of air. So we're just going and going and going and going here.
All right, good.
My battery's about dead in the light. Here we go, Ronnie. See that right there at the end? Again, it did it. All right, Ronnie. So we're going to keep going until we don't have no more of that.
All right, folks, we took it out driving and then we parked it again. We think we've got the brakes done. What was wrong with the brakes, Donnie, ultimately?
Out of adjustment, and that needed bleeding. The rotor of the drums was wore, and that's about it.
It's still got a little bit of a... They're not like a brand new car, but I started thinking about it, and they're about the same as my other trucks. So I think they're up to par with the way they were designed. There's no leaks. The wheel cylinders look good. We bled all four tires, or all four cylinders.
We cut adjusting holes in the backing plates.
Yeah. He was drilling holes in the backing plates so that we could stick a screwdriver in there and do this. Was it more like this? Or like that? Like that. And that got it where it was adjusted outright. So basically, when you put the new shoes on, you get it where they're starting to drag a little bit, but the reason they're dragging is because you just put the shoes on. So you drive it down the street a little bit and it gets it a little more blah, blah, blah. And then we came back and they weren't very tight at all. So we adjusted it out some more and got it till it was doing its thing. So we think that we've got it, good. So we had our visitors coming by. How's it going, bud? So we, and the kids are out playing on the four-wheeler over there. Not my kids, neighborhood kids. They playing on the 4x4. So the four-wheeler, not the 4x4. So give us your comments below. Give us a thumbs up for filming it for you. And next trip, we're going to start working on some of the gauges. We got to get the gauges where we can tell if the oil pressure is good, tell if the water temperature is right, and all that stuff. So we're going to mess with gauges next time. So hope you enjoyed what little bit of it we were able to film. And we'll see you on the next one.